tell me, Craig, what happened to you on the 13th of March 2010?
Well, after leaving the infantry, served in the British Army, I went to work at a high security prison in the northeast. That day stands out. We had the prisoner who was a bit of a control problem. He'd barricaded himself the night before, and on that morning he'd asked to see the nurses for some treatments. It's our common practice for nurses to go into the wing, so I assisted my colleague in going to unlock him. He came out rather aggressive. As I went to restrain him, I didn't know he had a broken bottle in his arm, and he's stabbed us in the arm, in the underarm, as I've restrained him. Instantly I knew that something was wrong. The blood came gushing out at a really rapid rate. So I made a beeline for my wife. She was a nurse on the jail, and I made a beeline for her. Unfortunately, she was able to stem the bleeding with her colleague and save my life till the paramedics got there.
So what changes would you have expected from the government or from the side of the department you worked for over the past, 6.5 years now?
Well, immediately after the incident, the prison made a knee-jerk reaction of removing all glass and ceramic plates from the prison, which I thought might have been the start of something a little bit more, but it wasn't. I would say in 6.5 years, nothing's really changed as far as safety towards staff has been made. Staff numbers have reduced, CCTV's been introduced, which I think the prison governors and the prison ministers probably see the CCTV as a member of staff. There's no PPE being introduced, there's no...
So what do you believe would actually would have made a difference?
I would say, me personally, I would say that more money's got to be spent on giving the prison officers correct protective equipment, stab-resistant clothing, slash-resistant clothing, things like that. I'm not saying it's going to be a deterrent, but I certainly know if I was wearing it that day, my injuries wouldn't have been as severe. I might have even returned back to work.
So looking back now, 6.5 years later, a bit of a reality check now, what do you think actually has happened that actually makes a difference to the safety and the well-being of your previous colleagues and the prison officers and correction officers around the world?
Nothing. From still speaking to staff, to friends and family who work in the prison system, they've made cuts to staff. They've brought in staff on less pay. You know, nothing's really changed for the better in the prison system as far as protection for staff's concerned.
For me, it's really strange in my head that police officers who do an 8-hour shift and actually only work 20 or 30 minutes dealing with a criminal during potentially an arrest scenario, they have to wear body armor, they have to, more or less by law. But when this very same criminal is handed over to the prison service, those prison officers charged with looking after that criminal are not allowed to wear them, or ask they shouldn't be wearing them because body armor could be perceived as confrontational or aggressive or hostile or too authoritative.
Yeah, I think it's a false perception by prison ministers, by probably some governors, by the public, that once these dangerous individuals, these terrorists, these armed robbers, the people that are in for seriously violent crimes, once they get brought into the prison system, that suddenly the risk of them becoming a threat to anybody it decreases. Where it's really not the case.
Do you believe that body armor or stab-resistant vests or slash-resistant clothing or any type of personal protective equipment actually can really make an effective difference in terms of reducing workplace violence-related injuries, or even ultimately, do you believe it can save lives?
Yeah, I mean, when I was trying to bring this up with the prison ministers and governors, they were trying to tell me that the introduction of stab-resistant clothing or slash-resistant clothing would maybe have an increase tax on staff. What my answer was how many police officers have been attacked since the introduction of their stab-resistant clothing. And I doubt that's increased on police officers. And there's a place for CCTV, there's a place for the alarm bells and everything like that, but I think there's a necessity for staff to be issued with slash-resistant clothing, stab-resistant vests for their own safety, because it will save a life. If I'd have been wearing something like that on the day that I was attacked, I was stabbed, I fully believe I would have returned back to work, and my incident won't be the last incident in the prison service.